Welcome to the Whiskey Explorer. Thanks so much for tuning in for another episode, guys. And tonight we have got a really exciting episode. It's exciting for me because I get to talk whiskey again with you guys, which I love to do. So please don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let us know if you've tried this whiskey, and if you have, what did you think of it? It is also super exciting, guys, because I'm going to pitch you an idea for the channel, and I'd love your feedback in the comments if you could leave them down below. Let me know if you guys would like to see a scoring system on this channel. So that would be a system in which I rank whiskeys based on certain criteria such as nose, palate, finish, that type of thing, value. I would love to do that for you guys. I'm going to try it out. If you guys want me to do it, I will do it. But you got to be vocal and let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys want to see whiskeys ranked on this channel, and I will come up with an appropriate scoring system, and we can get that rolling. All right, guys, and also tonight we have got an exciting whiskey. I really am excited to crack in this one and give you guys my opinion on it. This here is the WB Saffel. Alright guys, so this little teeny tiny cute bottle right here is brought to you by Diageo. This is part of their Whiskey Barons series. This was actually released in 2019. Alright, so what do we know about this? Well, we know that they are sourcing this whiskey here from Wild Turkey, which if you've watched the channel at all, you may know that that is one of my favorite distilleries. I absolutely love me some Wild Turkey, especially the quintessential expressions that everyone loves. I'm not that original. So like the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel is probably my favorite expression from Wild Turkey that I can get around these parts. And I can't even really get it here. I can only really get it during the spirit releases, or if I am lucky enough to have my brother pick it up for me in Alberta. Then I love the rare breed. I love the Wild Turkey 101. I haven't actually had a chance to try some of the other expressions that are harder to get, like the 12-year-old or the Wild Turkey 101 12-year or the Russell's Reserve 13-year or the single rickhouse stuff. That stuff just doesn't make its way over to us in Canada, and unfortunately when it does, it's marked incredibly high, and since you can't usually get it, you end up having to purchase something like that on the secondary market, and that's just something that is just really not in my budget to go out and do. So I haven't had a chance to try some of those other ones, but excited that this is actually sourced from Wild Turkey. And what this is a little bottle right here, and the bottle size is 375 mils. So it's basically half of a regular size 750 ml bottle, and it's priced at about $55 US. So since this came out in 2019, it may definitely be hard for you guys to go out and find this on the shelves. I know in Canada, absolutely impossible. It never came here. Not a chance of finding it. But if you have someone who's over in the States, there may just be some dusty bottles of this little gem here on the shelves. So I've sort of tipped my hat there, guys, but that's all right. What else we know is that this is 107 proof, and that for me is kind of a perfect proof point. That is one of the reasons that I love Weller 107 so much. It's kind of the perfect proof point for me. Anywhere from about 105 proof to 110 is sort of my sweet spot. So this coming in at the 107 proof or 53.5% alcohol is a perfect proof for me. I'm almost certain it's non-chill filtered. So that means that's great for us whiskey fans because we get all of the proteins, the esters, all of that stuff that's kind of removed during the chill filtration process. We get all of those nice flavors fully intact in the whiskey. All right, so Wild Turkey sourced, 107 proof, and the price point on this in the US, it came out and it was about $50 to $60 US. I paid 80 Canadian for my bottle, so I actually got a pretty darn good deal, essentially about retail. So that was when I saw that and had the opportunity to get it for 80 bucks Canadian. And that's all said and done. No taxes, obviously, because it was a private deal. But that's not secondary prices to me, so I was happy to jump and grab that bottle. All right, and you guys might notice also that I'm using a little bit of a different glass here today. And this is actually a fantastic glass. And the reason I'm trying out some different glassware is that I'd like to do a best whiskey glass video for you guys. So if you have a favorite whiskey glass you'd like me to include in that test, it's going to be a very informal test. I'm basically going to line up all the different glasses that I have, and we'll see which whiskey glass noses and tastes the best. All right, so if you guys have a favorite one you'd like me to try to include, if you could drop that in the comments down below, that'd be much appreciated. And if you haven't done so already, if you could please click the subscribe button, click the like button, do anything you can to help grow the channel here in 2023. We are very close to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I appreciate each and every one of you for watching my videos. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into the whiskey itself. Let's look at the color in the glass here. We see that this has got kind of a, I would say basically a medium kind of amber, or kind of trending towards a little bit more like a red mahogany. There is quite a nice color in the glass here. Without further ado, let's go in for a nose. Here we go, guys, on the nose. Cheers. Okay, initially, I get a really sweet strawberry note. It's almost like that, I bring this up quite a bit on the channel, especially for bourbons that are a little bit on the younger side, like 5 to 6 years. Those I find like a ripe strawberry or sometimes an unripened strawberry. This is definitely jumping out with strawberries and cream. So some really nice vanilla. There's the cherry note. Some nice confectionery sugar in there. Brown sugar. And this is one of those whiskeys, guys, where I had about half a bottle of it left, and it does go quickly in this format, especially when you want to try to savor it and enjoy it with friends and family. So I thought, before I kill this bottle, I better get a review in. So without further ado, let's go in for a taste on the palate. Cheers. Wow. So one of the first things you notice about this is a fully coating mouthfeel experience. So nice and oily on the mouthfeel, fully coats your palate front and back. The first initial flavor burst is sweet cherry mixed with a little bit of sweet strawberry. Then in the kind of mid palate, you get some nice sweet oak notes. Definitely picking up some barrel char in the center of the palate there. That's where there's a little bit of a shift towards some spices as well. So now we're getting nutmeg, a little bit of cayenne pepper, some white pepper, black pepper, all kind of joining the party here. Again, really mouth coating, and that really helps out the finish. So this has a nice, spicy, beautiful kind of cherry aftertaste. There's sweet cherry, there's vanilla, brown sugar, and then a nice kind of barrel influence of barrel char, spicy, long and lingering finish. Absolutely a stellar whiskey, guys. I'm not going to tell you guys that I could have picked this out as being a Wild Turkey product, but I can tell you that I could pick it out blind as being an excellent bourbon that I would love to sip anytime. So let's go in for a second sip and see if we discover some more. Get the palate a little acclimated to this profile. Cheers. So I definitely think that this whiskey improved even on the second sip and evolved more on the palate. So there's actually a lot of breadth and a decent complexity to this whiskey. Again, fully mouth coating. The very first thing you get is almost a medicinal cherry, but it's a little bit on the sweeter side, kind of influenced with maybe a little bit of like, that ripe strawberry note. Then there's a really nice transition into some butterscotch, some caramel, some vanilla, and brown sugar. Then again, in that middle, that center of the palate, you've got that through line of the sweet oak. Got the barrel char influence, which leads to a really nice, round, full, kind of spicy finish. Definitely the finish is kind of lingering with that medicinal cherry note a little bit, as well as a little bit of vanilla, and certainly some barrel spicing. So definitely some spiciness in there, black pepper, cinnamon red hearts even. It's just an absolutely fantastic whiskey. Here's my wish. I wish this was more readily available. I wish this was in 750 milliliters, and I wish that we could get it here in Canada. Guys, this is a fantastic whiskey. This would definitely get a recommend for me. If you can find one at a dusty mom and pop out there in the States, definitely pick this one up. And back to that topic I kind of briefly introduced at the beginning of the video, guys. If I had to give this whiskey a score, we're going to go out of 100 here. I'm going to give this whiskey an 86. 86 out of 100. That's sort of how I'd score this one. So that would be an A in my book. That would be an excellent whiskey and one that I would highly recommend picking up. Even if you can only get it in a bar for a pour, well worth trying, guys. I think you'll really enjoy it if you're a fan of bourbon, and especially if you're a fan of Wild Turkey. All right, guys, so if you've tried this bottle of WB Saffel from the Whiskey Baron series from Diageo, if you could please do me a quick favor, let me know if you've tried it down below, and if you have, what kind of a score do you think you'd give WB Saffel out of 100? I'd love to hear what you guys think. All right, guys, until next time, may your sails be full and your drams be fuller. Cheers.